Well, it's a nasty day, but believe it or not, it's a holiday here in Canada. Nobody's supposed to be working, but
use the right lane to take the Alberta tube.
But we're all working. So, but today the good news is that for me, as a delivery driver, it's a short day. Instead of starting at a 6:45 and working till 4 or 5, I started today at 7:45, and I'm only supposed to work till 1. And I believe it's all overtime, so because it's a holiday. I'm working. A friend of mine asked me for a quote. You know, I was happy to look into that. A guy bought a small excavator and it needs to be moved, so I found a couple of trucks, just need a couple of more so that I can get the correct, you know, average for the rate. You cannot just go by one guy, right? And as always, when you ship machinery, especially from an auction, a tip for customers and shippers: you must know if ramps are available, because, you know, like this excavator, it only weighs 16,000 pounds, so it can be loaded in theory on a step deck, but not all step decks carry ramps, and those ramps actually are pretty precarious. I never liked them myself when I was a trucker, because it's easy to, you know, for the load to flip over. I don't know, like, I just don't trust them. But most of them nowadays, they do carry them. And I use the guy with the ramps. If you remember, when I bought that forklift, but it was a nightmare. It slid off the ramps. We had to call a tow truck, because those ramps, you know, they're not very wide. So anyway, so ramps are super important. And of course I asked this guy, and he says they don't know. They don't know if the auction has ramps, but most of auctions, they have a fixed ramp, right? But that's a big deal, because if they do have a ramp at the origin and destination, then you can just get a cheap step deck trailer, right? Otherwise, you'd need a much more expensive double drop or RGN. So it's basically, it's customers' money. So information is power, or in this case, it's money. And this, my first load. Now imagine, it's a holiday, right? I came in relaxed. Oh man, it's a short day. And then I look at the paperwork that the dispatch has for me, and I already grabbed, on the way to dispatch, I grabbed the key for the Freightliner, hoping, you know, it's a holiday, like I'll probably be in a 5-ton truck, maybe moving some scissor lifts, some, you know, exciting bobcats, and I go see dispatch, and I see under my name, like, we have what, 2 or 3 drivers, like normally 2, but on the weekend, last 3 of the week there's another driver, like a part-time. So, but normally we have 2, and so there's a name for each driver, and I see under my name the stacked paperwork, and the first line says frames. And I know if it says frames, that's scaffolding. And not just that, I see there's 2 deliveries. I look at the second one, scaffolding, and the third is the pickup. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going on a long trip. It was like 45 kilometers, all the way pretty much past the ring road, or the very south of Calgary. And wait a second, that's a bit too far. I mean, too fast. I don't want to be driving 115 here. We'll just set the cruise. What I like about this truck, this Dodge Ram 3500, this one has working cruise control. And now I'm on the ring road. I set up the cruise at 105. clicks an hour. What is it, 64 miles per hour, and I can enjoy the scenery. Actually passing my area. I live around here. And so yeah, I look at the scaffolding, and the first delivery, it says 8 5x5 frames and 8 10-foot decks. That's already, you know, pretty hefty. And then there's 4 half frames, 3x5. And then I look at the second one. Second one says 2 frames, 2 decks. And so total it's like 10 frames plus 4 small ones and 10 decks. So basically a pretty big load, you know, for a pickup truck. So now I have my exhaust brake on because the truck doesn't want to stop, you know, like it's so heavy now. Like, let's say one frame 5x5 is roughly 50 pounds, I would say, maybe a bit less. Let's say 40, and I have 10, so that's already 400 pounds. And then decks are also 50 pounds, so another 400. So, and then I have casters. I have 12 casters or wheels. Those are pretty heavy too. So I think I probably have like 1,300 pounds now in the bed. And I look in the mirror, I cannot see anything because it's all stacked decks and braces. And the place where I deliver, I know these guys. They always order stuff from us. Normally there's not gonna be anybody on site, and they always want the scaffolding in the garage, not just on the sidewalk like our policy is, curbside delivery. But for this particular customer, because they're so special and they order so much, we do into the garage. And so this first drop, like, I'm just thinking with an, you know, awe that it took me like an hour to load all this, and now I have to unload my first stop, right? 8 frames 5x5, 4 frames 3x5, and 8 10-footer decks, and a bunch of braces, a bunch of casters. So it's gonna be exciting. But the good news is that, you know, now I can relax in a nice diesel truck, 6.7 diesel. And I'm so used to this one now that, you know, like here the wipers are on the left, right? And here is your shifter, right? In my Jeep, the shifter is here on the panel, and the wipers are on the right side stalk. And so now I already caught myself, you know, 3 or 4 times when I get into a Jeep, I touch the left side, you know, trying to activate the wipers, whereas they're on the right, and I'm like, holy moly. I think on the left I only have what? I have turn signals and headlights. And then a couple of times I was trying to do this instead of shifting here, you know, because, you know, you spend so much time here, right? Like, you know, 8-10 hours a day driving this. So I'm driving this much more than my Jeep. Speaking about the Jeep, I love that thing. The torque, I noticed improved. The sound improved after I did the second upgrade. So first one was mufflers, right? First it was muffler delete, then I added Flowmaster Super 10s. Love them. And then I waited probably 8 months or 6 months till CSN finally released the washable air filter for my Jeep. And I order it, now I have it. That's what, you know, I feel gave me a bit more horsepower, and also the sound, the exhaust sound became more pleasant. So what else is new? The guy showed up, picked up my Ruger. So now I only have a Charles Daly 12 gauge. And it's okay. It's been a while since I went to the club. But once the weather is good, I'll probably drive to the public land zone and shoot up some cans, some watermelons, you know. You can have a lot of fun with this, with the shotgun. And so yeah, tomorrow is an important day. I'm surrendering at the police station for some fingerprints. And they have an interesting note on the email when they send you the confirmation for the appointment. They said, for employment purposes, and I quote, for employment purposes, a charge of $25 can be assessed. Or basically $25 can be charged for employment purposes. Like, what are you hiring extra help for this? And of course, I know a lot of people don't have any sense of humor, so before somebody accuses me of committing a crime, I'm not surrendering. I'm going to get my background check for Uber taxi, right? And once again, I don't know why they don't allow third-party background checks, which are much faster and cheaper. No, last time I did one when I was applying to be a car photographer, and actually they approved me, everything was good, but for some reason they wanted to have a background check, and the lady told me where to go. I just went online, created a username, boom, boom, boom. I think it was a bit expensive. Well, more expensive than the police station. It was $50, but I did it like that on the same day, and you have results within, I don't know, half an hour, right? Here, because they requested specifically police to do this, I had to wait like, what, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, because there was no appointment available earlier. And it's not online, because, you know, unless you can confirm your identity by using those dated 30-year-old questions. See, that's a cop. I saw that guy. There's a lot of unmarked police vehicles here. I see them all the time at that Starbucks where I usually go. And I saw a guy, like a pickup truck, looks like a regular pickup truck, even has aluminum rims. Son of a gun, you know? Like, normally you can tell when it's a cop because they're all so cheap, and they believe that steel rims are more you know, sturdier. So all police vehicles that I've seen, they all have steel rims. And I remember asking one guy in the States, a cop, I was hauling oversized load when I was a trucker, and we had to use police. I think it was Ohio, in Ohio, for escort. On top of a civilian pilot, there was a police pilot. And I asked him, I said, why do you guys always have steel rims? And the cop was really surprised by the question, and he said, that's what they give us. So he never questioned why every car, pretty much like 99% of cars, have aluminum rims, but police have steel rims. That's all they give us. But then, yeah, somebody was saying that they like them because they don't break as easily as aluminum ones. Yeah, they will bend. Let's say if there's a high-speed chase, if the guy hits something, they can bend, but they're not gonna break like aluminum. Aluminum is really fragile, right? It's flimsy. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they like aluminum rims, and also they're cheap to replace. If they bend them, what is it, like $50, $60? You know, not 200 or 250. And because they operate these vehicles so you know, extensively, right, day and night. By the way, speaking about pilots, I remember I was thinking about this, right? But becoming a pilot, you know, escort. Couple of times I saw ads actually, because I keep looking every day online, you know, for jobs, just to see what's available, you know, stay abreast of the, you know, of the market, of all the news, stay informed. And a couple of times I saw people were hiring pilots. I think it was just a company driver, but the pay, it was like 18-20 bucks an hour. They don't want to pay, you know. And I researched, I think, yeah, you can just take a course and you can you know, get a truck like this, like, because over here they all drive trucks. And I know in the States, sorry, in the States, a lot of pilots, they just operate small cars because, you know, of gas mileage. But here, because of our severe climate conditions, you know, and often you have to go into the mountains, stuff like that, they all have 4x4 and it's trucks. Like 9 out of 10, it's trucks, like pickup trucks. But what I found in Alberta is that most heavy haul companies, they have their own pilots, you know. First time I saw this, there was a company in Montreal that I was getting oversized permits from, and then I found out that they also operate you know, a pilot service. They have their own trucks, and I remember talking to the guys, and I said, are these your trucks? Like, are you owner operator? They said, no, we are company drivers. You know, and so a lot of people do that here because it's way cheaper for them. But I don't know. One bad thing about being a pilot is that I know for a fact that they drive like crazy. It's pretty much same as taxi, but of course the pay is way better than, let's say, whatever you can make with Uber. But you're killing your truck because they do like 100,000 miles a year, easy, you know. But they can make $1, you know, $2 a mile, or maybe like I don't know, $1.50, $2. I remember when I needed a pilot in Pennsylvania. Oh, sorry, Maryland. Once your gross weight was over 150,000 pounds, Maryland requires you to have one civilian pilot and one police pilot. But under 150, I think between 120 150,000 pounds gross, it's just one civilian pilot. And so I was often over 120, like 130, 140, right? And so I pretty much always used civilian pilot or escort in Maryland from the port of Baltimore to the border with Pennsylvania on I-83. And I know it was like 47 miles. And these guys charged, at first it was $350 US, then it became $400 and even $450. Imagine. So the guy shows up there and it takes less than an hour, you know, to escort you for, you know, 47 miles, and he charges you $400 bucks, you know, US. And I remember once there was a couple showed up. They had like a big truck. I think it was like a Ford Explorer. No, wait. Yeah, I think it was an SUV, like a big SUV. And there was a husband and wife, and we started chatting as usual. You know, I'm always chatterbox on the radio. And I learned that they were former truckers. And when they got tired of trucking, they sold their truck and they started this pilot service, you know. And they said, we should have done it earlier. We make more money than we had a truck. So I don't know, maybe I should look into this. I have a couple of friends who work for heavy haul companies here. Like one guy works for hold on, I'm just looking. I don't want to miss my exit because I turned off my, maybe I should reactivate verbal instructions because looks like I'm exiting the highway pretty soon. But maybe I should look into this, you know, because I was thinking of doing this at the end of the year, getting into back into trucking, just with a truck, like you know, power only. But a truck right now over here, a regular truck brand new is about 230,000 Canadian, or you can buy a used one, you know, a couple of years old, you can buy for 175, 180, which is crazy. Like a pickup truck like this, of course most people don't buy them brand new for pilot service, but I can buy this because they're not in very big demand, like at least here, believe it or not. In Canada, I was looking into this, like F350 Ford or a Ram 3500 like this, they're about 80 grand Canadian. I think Ford is a bit more expensive, so 80 grand, that's like 3 times cheaper than a new truck, like a semi truck, right? So I don't know. I do enjoy freight brokerage because I do like working with people, with computers, you know, with details, because you have to be very detailed, but I do enjoy it. You know, it's just that it's not easy finding loads, finding shippers. Yeah, loads. Just like I was saying, in real estate, right? In real estate, your main objective is to find a house that somebody's selling, right? Finding a buyer is not that difficult. So same here. First you have to find a load or a customer with a load, and then you look for trucks. But I do enjoy it. I'm still set up. I'm set up as a freight broker in US and Canada. So I have all my credentials.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 99 for 52nd Street Southeast.
But I do need to make some extra money. This just not enough, you know. You know, my YouTube is going down again because I don't show you guys too much trucking content, right? So my YouTube views and income went down, and that's why I was trying to get into this, trying to get into the taxi business. We'll see what happens, but I still probably should research the pilot business, because that would allow me to do some videos, you know, of some heavy loads. And I have my class 1, and I know trucking, you know. Like normally I think the best pilots are either cops, because, you know, they're very good at driving, or, you know, like they know the rules of the road. I would say it's either cops or truckers, like former truckers, just like that couple, husband and wife. So if somebody knows
300 meters, take exit 99 for 52nd Street Southeast.
Yeah, if somebody knows of any, if somebody has any tips on how to be a pilot in Alberta, just leave me a comment.
Take exit 99.
99, are you sure? Okay. Cruise off. Man, the sky in the back there,
In
look.
600 meters, use any lane to take the 52nd Street Southeast South ramp.
Magpie, come on. A magpie was sitting on the road. She's probably a Ram fan. And also another thing,
Use any lane to take the 52nd Street Southeast South ramp, then merge onto 52nd Street Southeast South.
yeah, another thing, my apartment keeps rising in price. like, I know I made a lot of, sorry about that. I made a lot of stupid financial decisions, but left. Yeah. I made a lot of stupid financial decisions, but finally I made one that where I'm making money in my sleep. So my apartment, right? So originally 173,000 Canadian in October 22. Then it went up to 200, 215, 235. So now my broker insists, the guy who sold me this apartment insists on sending me market reports every month. And I just got another one, and what I do is I look, and they show you the history of sales in my area. I look at my building, like specifically the address, my address, right? And our building, we have 1 bedroom.
On 52nd Street Southeast South for 1.5 kilometers.
We have 1 bedroom apartments, and we have 2 bedroom apartments. And 2 bedrooms were always over 300,000, and my 1 bedroom was, you know, below or above 200, right? So it's like a $100,000 difference. So now I see somebody sold, don't know what floor, because somebody sold 1 bedroom. It used to be 245. Now they sold a 1 bedroom in my building for 248.9. And it was on the market for 12 days. 12 days. They also sold a 2 bedroom apartment in my building. It was on the market for 10 days and sold for, I think it was 330 or something like that, you know.
500 meters, turn left onto Mahogany Road Southeast.
335. And actually I think, yeah, the 2 bedroom sold for more money than was the asking price. So let's say the seller wanted 330, and the apartment sold for like 335, 336.
Mahogany Road Southeast.
Which means that there was like a bidding war, you know. So if I was a rich guy and I had some extra money, I would definitely buy another apartment, you know. Guaranteed, because it's just crazy money.
200 meters at the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on Mahogany Road Southeast.
So, and that's what I mean when I say that this was the best financial decision I made with this apartment. Yeah.
Exit the roundabout onto Mahogany Road Southeast.
So now we're on the
600 meters at the roundabout, take the first exit onto Marine Drive Southeast.
Now we are in the very south of Calgary. It's all new construction. I've been in this area many times. And just like everywhere else in Calgary, what they do is, like, this is Lake Mahogany. It's called the Streams of Lake Mahogany is the name of this area. And so the word mahogany, they use like the first word in the title, in the name of all streets is mahogany. And then it can be mahogany views, mahogany heights, mahogany you know, road. Like here, Marina Cove, Marina Cape. They'll use one word. At first it was hard to get used to it, but now actually it makes things simpler, because you know that
400 meters, slight right.
Oh, you see this Marine Drive. So as soon as I know, let's say I need Marine Marina Cape, right? So I know that if the first word is marine or marina, I'm in the right area. And then I have to cruise around and find the proper second word, you know, like Marine Grove or Marina Heights, Marina
Slight
Views, Marine or Marina Hills. Yeah, I've been here. I remember those big.
In 300 meters, slight right to stay on Marine Drive Southeast.
I remember those big structures over there. And that's the work of a scaffold delivery driver.
Slight right to stay on Marine Drive Southeast. Head west on Marina Link Southeast, then turn right onto Marina Landing Southeast.
All right, I have
Turn
to check.
right onto Marina Landing Southeast, then turn left onto Marina Grove Southeast.
So there's Marina Grove, Marina Lake. I think I have to go this way. Well, maybe go this way. All right, I have to double check my address.
Turn left onto Marina Grove Southeast, then turn left.
And that's what I delivered. So 8 10-footer decks, a bunch of braces, 8 casters, 8 5x5 frames, and 4 3x5 frames. And this is how this stuff looks when it's assembled, right? So these are the frames, 5x5, then the braces go across on the side, and then decks go like that on the top using the hooks they have, and of course casters. So this is a very, you know, usable structure. You see they can move it all over the place when they work on the ceiling, or these guys in this case are drywallers.